Special good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you, my friends? How are you, my friends? Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yes, we are on another journey back to Brooklyn, and I'm happy that you're here to keep my company. Right now, we're broadcasting on both Facebook and on YouTube. And this is my newest segment on the go, News on the Go. This is where we drive together to my location and we have a discussion. Yes, we have a discussion. Please share the live. Just bear with me. I got to ensure. Yes, Henry, how are you? Good morning, Henry, over on Facebook. Let me just ensure that my stream is getting a healthy flow. Yes, it is indeed. It is indeed. Let me just check the volume too. Just bear with me. Right, so we are good. We're on the go, and I am using my for streaming quality. We are using our third piece of portable online system, which allows us to do a lot of stuff. It allows us to do a great deal. But greetings, friends. Good to have you here with us on the platform. We're heading into Brooklyn. We're headed into Brooklyn once again. And so, we normally have our discussions and everything else. Let me just share this platform. What normally happens is that we have issues sometimes with the Facebook stream where persons are not getting their notification. So please bear with us. We got to send out those notifications. We got to send them out, send them out, send them out. All right. We got to get them out. Because sometimes people are saying, well, we didn't know you were on. What is happening? Not that we're hiding. Yes. Good. Let me get it over to our WhatsApp group. We have our Caribbean American WhatsApp group, fan page, private group. And the folks over there are just lovely. I can tell you that they're lovely, lovely, lovely. They're good people over there on that platform. No drama. Everything is just peaceful. Nobody is posting unnecessary items. And we get the latest on everything. We get the latest of everything, you know. But concerning Gregory Charles's live, it is still being developed. And if some of us can, always check in once in a while to see if he's on. But I think it's a global problem with Facebook, with notification. The platforms are being updated, it's being changed, a lot of different features. And if you don't have a certain amount of followers these days, then your post is not being shared or pushed through the algorithms of Facebook. And so you will feel that, you will not get notifications. But that is a problem with Facebook, not on our side. But we will try our best to see how we can get notification out. I will go over to Charles at some point to see some of his settings, what is going on there with the privacy settings. So at least we can, you can hear him. I know many of you love his program. You love him. And so we will work with him to ensure that all of you get the notifications when he's on. But let me just greet you folks. Let me just greet you as you come in, as you join. I just want to greet you as you join. Just bear with me. I'm back and forth with ordering my graduation gown before I head out to St. Lucia. The school is back and forth with me trying to get all their monies before graduation. They try to get all their little graduation fees and gown fees. Oh my golly. I just got a big invoice there. It just came on my email, folks. Oh, yeah, yeah. Imagine you pay so much money for school and then graduation time, you got to spend more money just to graduate. Ay, ay, ay. So I just got an invoice there. If somebody have money and they want to pay that for me, I am happy. I do not get gifts. Molly Mall, I need a gift. Hi, my friend Molly. I need a gift. Hi, Teresa. Good, and everybody. So let's have an open conversation as one family. And you know what I don't like, honestly? I really don't like it, you know. You know, if you come under the live or you're not coming in and you're out there listening but you don't want to click, um, you know, it could be a problem. Molly Moll, I have enough gifts for you. Lady, I have gifts for you, don't worry. You don't worry, you'll be okay. I just played with you. Imagine my gown alone for the graduation is $460. $460. And I got to travel to Georgia. To Georgia for my graduation. This is a program that I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 years. I delayed, started, stopped, started, and finally I was able to just push to the finish line. That is a program that I did at a seminary there on world religion, pastoral emphasis, pastoral leadership, pastoral care. I did another degree in pastoral leadership. So that one is out of the way, and I'm doing a major one in Michigan at Andrews University. So you got to equip yourself. The opportunity is here, is there for schooling to push yourself. We cannot be holding ourselves back from information and perish because of lack of knowledge. All right. I want to speak about knowledge. I want to speak about us improving ourselves, our thinking, broadening our horizon. Amen. Thank you, Molly Mall. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a long time coming. And even though a lot of people are asking me, oh, I'm questioning my degrees and everything else, I laughed at it. I played it down. I played along with them. But don't allow anyone to define you, folks. Know yourself. Oh, man, know yourself. And don't let anybody decide for you who you are. You are who you are in Christ Jesus. You are who you are. Know yourself. Oh, man. Know yourself. Don't let anybody charter any path for you. The only man that should do that is the man Christ Jesus, nobody else. So there are some people in our societies around the world who are never happy for you when you are progressing. Now I'm hoping I'm speaking to somebody. And listen to me, it will go a long way in helping you. because some of us have experienced some stuff as a result of us progressing, or it seems in the eyes of certain people that you're progressing, that you are making some headways. Those persons, well, not all, but there are many who will not be happy for you. If you have a title, you have something behind your name, they are not too happy, whether they're Christians or not. They are not happy for you. Yes, and that's true. So you got to be careful also with your success and how you broadcast your success. And I also to people, if you have a plan to open a business or to do something big that will improve your life, talk to God about it and nobody else as yet. Sometimes you got to surprise people. You got to just build that house. Let them see that house going up. Let them see you driving that car, whether it's a BMW or whatever it is. Let them see you driving it. Don't announce it. Let them allow them to hear that you're graduating on a certain date. But you got to be careful, be mindful about as to your surroundings, because everybody who laughs with you and smiles with you and give you good greetings, they are not truly there to support you or to laugh with you and to encourage you and to celebrate with you. And that is a mistake that many persons make out there. And so you find sometimes your friends stop speaking to you as you progress. Sometimes you find, people that were very close to you, they just start pulling back, and you wonder why. The truth is, those persons were not really your friends, and they were just holding on to you so that they can know where you're going. They can pass on information as to your progress. So I say to you folks, be careful when you are progressing. It is a time that you need to pray even more when you are progressing, because people will go out of the way. I have known of persons who have gone even to Obia men to try to make an attempt to hinder people's growth, even their own families. Yes, and it is the truth. It is true. They go out of their way to hinder your progress. And sometimes you wonder what is happening. And that's why, as you succeed, as you progress, never forget God. He protects you. And you know what he says? A table will he spread in the presence of your enemies. A table of celebration and victory and success he will spread in the middle of your enemies. So while they are praying for your downfall, he is spreading that table, and he is stocking the table with all the best goodies. He knows what is best for you and I. So succeed, be positive. And I want to say to especially our Lucian people, it is high time for you to start reasoning on your own. Don't allow outside forces to reason for you. Don't allow people to dictate to you how you should see another person. There are many good people out there that you are looking. There are many good persons out there that you are seeing as bad people, and they're really not. There are many good persons out there that will be your blessings tomorrow and even today, but because somebody hates that one person, then you jump on that bandwagon and you start repeating the same thing that they're saying, that Johnny Teresa is not good. Think for yourself, reason for yourself. Think and reason for yourself. God has given you a brain. Never allow anyone to drag you into hatred and bitterness. Don't do it. You see, we have a culture, again, one, where we don't like progress. We don't like to see people succeed. And I've seen it over and over. I've heard it myself. And two, we allow persons to shape our vision of each other. And sometimes we forget the goodness of those persons, the things that those persons have done to aid you in the past. Very ungrateful generation. And we got to be mindful of that. We got to be surely mindful of that, friends, or we will lose out on a lot of blessings. Some people are your blessings, really. God placed them to be a blessing to you. But you are short-sighted. You are short-sighted. And so you lose out on tremendous blessings in your life. I just wanted to say that to you, friends, that you got to remain steadfast, also focus. Two, you are not too old. You are not too old to develop yourself. You're not too old to develop yourself. And I'll tell you why. There are still persons who are not too old who cannot operate a basic cell phone. There are persons who there's some basic stuff that they cannot achieve, they cannot do. They cannot do. And remember this, that anything you put your mind to, you can do it. You got to believe that. Once you put your mind to it, you can achieve it, you can do it by the grace of God. So don't just sit back and say, me, my head is hard. I can't get there. I can't do this. I can't do that. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. I was given a truck to drive. I have never drove any truck before. That's years ago. And I needed the job. It was in Long Island. And when they asked me, can I drive the truck? I said, yes. Now I looked at the truck and I'm already saying, boy, I'm going to do this. I am driving this truck today. I am going to do this. And brethren, I drove that truck. And not only that I was able to man the truck, I drove the truck to Florida from New York. Then I drove the truck from New York to Tennessee. Then I drove the truck from New York to Delaware, from New York to Washington. I went around the United States with that truck. Once you put your mind to it, and by the way, we are our worst enemies. But once you put your mind to it, friends, you can achieve it. All right? If you need a visa, one day you have a dream to be in the United States or England or Canada, stick to that dream. Don't discourage yourself. Be positive. The problem with our people is that we are negative. We are not positive. Everything around us is black and dark and gloomy. How can you succeed with such a mentality? Gloominess, darkness. Have you ever met persons like that? It's always a negative. No matter how no matter what day it is always a bad day. Oh, bagay mo face, things messed up. Have you not met people like that? Always negative, nothing positive to say. You have a discussion, they are never positive. Persons like that, you want to just keep yourself away because they're going to poison your outlook. They're going to poison your outlook. They're going to hinder your growth. And I did psychology, and I'll tell you, There's a lot of things, even pain that we experience in our bodies, that are just in the mind. Yes, all that you see sometimes is not what you see. So, and that's why even Christ, he says that he wants to condition your mind. He wants to give you a new mind, a new heart, based on the English version. But what he's saying is that he wants to give you a new mind, new thinking. He wants to condition the mind, because everything starts in the mind. Out of the abundance of the mind, the heart, the mouth speaks. You see, your physical heart deals with blood, but your mind is the throne of reasoning, thoughts, the assessing of information, the gathering of information, the choice making, decision making, the mind, not in your heart. So we got to fix our minds. Many of us are not, many of us, and I'll tell you, have you met persons where everything is evil, everything is some gage, some obia, you ever met people like that? Everything too bad. They have no money, obia. Their children not doing well, obia. They can't be comfortable on the job, obia. If all that is happening around you and it's obia, something is wrong. So I'm saying to you, if everywhere you go, at home, on the job, in the church, in the political party, if everywhere you go that you're experiencing the same problem, I will say to you that you are the problem. You are the walking problem. You are walking with your problem. You are the problem. You are taking your problem wheresoever you go. You are the problem. Therefore, you got to stop focusing on gage and marginal, and you need to focus on yourself, the mind, the condition in the mind. So a good place to start is to remove your mind from the idea of somebody did this to you. That's a very dark place to be. Folks, listen to these spiritual advisors. I'm trying to condition you for success. Not every day we have to be so bitter in politics and all those things. But I want to condition your mind, folks. Those of you who are ready and willing, and you will reap the reward if you follow me. I want to condition you for success. Most of you are suffering from yourself, not the neighbor putting obia on you, not your family putting obia because they're jealous of you. Most of what you go through is as a result of you, your mind. And Christ knew that too well. Again, he said, I want to condition the mind. I want to change the mind, the thinking. When I change that thinking, then you will see a brighter path, brighter future. You will experience life all over again. You would want to live. And you will look back and say, "Boje, ¿cómo te ye? What was happening to me?" You would look back and you would want to live. You want to live. You want to live. You want to enjoy life, because the mind has been condition. And what you will discover is that you're not experiencing all the pains that you used to experience in the joints, in your body, sleepless nights. You will discover that all those things have vanished. Why? Because the mind has been reconditioned, repurposed. So you now need to live a purpose-driven life. After the mind is conditioned, then you have purpose, you have reason to do what you do, reason to get up in the morning and go out and want to achieve, even though you are getting $2 an hour. You can be more comfortable than those who get $100,000 an hour. But it starts in the mind. So I am saying, friends, all these talk about obia and witchcraft on you and your family, that's why you don't have money, that's why you don't see where your money is going. No, you don't see where your money is going. One, because things are expensive. Two, your choice of shopping, the things that you're buying, the things that you are buying. Sometimes the things, some of them are not necessary. For instance, if you have a low budget for food and it's strawberries and grapes you want to buy, and burgers and Kentucky, then you are committing witchcraft on your own self, financial witchcraft on your own self. So, yes, you will be lacking. Yes, you will not have because you are not planning properly. You're not putting your budget together effectively, properly. You're not making sense there. So it is not and then what you do is that you take some of your little 2 cents and you give it to an obeah man to tell you that your neighbor did something to you when no, you did what you did to yourself. So you have wasted money on an obeah man and you have wasted money on stuff that are not needed. But you are expecting to succeed. You cannot succeed, friends. 3, you've got to start thinking positive about others. How you think of others, it is exactly what's going to happen to you, how people see you. So, like for me, I give people the benefit of the doubt. When you fail me, then I know that we have a weakness, then we have a problem. But outside of that, I'm not going to assume that you are not good when you have not done anything to me. That is conditioning, again, how you see others. And sometimes how you see others, it is exactly how you see yourself. So if you're suspicious of everybody wants to steal your money, then it means that there is something going on there in your mind. There is something in the mind that you need to check on, in your character that you need to check on. Maybe you yourself, you have been dishonest in the past. Maybe there are persons that you are owing. Huh? Come on, let's talk. This is hard talk we're having so that you can be a better person in your society. How do you see others? That's the question. Think about it. Let me ask you a question, and I'm going to use myself as a case study. How do you see me? Think about it for a moment before you say anything. How do you see me? The second question is that how many of you have had a personal experience with me? Another question. Did we grow up in the same community? If the answers to all those questions are no, but yet you have a negative outlook, then something is fundamentally off. Yes, you will say, well, I heard somebody said this, I heard somebody said that, and I believe them. But how can you believe what you heard from somebody, but you have not heard the other side of the story? Again, the mind needs to be conditioned. Well, it sounds true, it sounds real because Johnny said it, so it got to be real. No. There are persons out there that will make you believe a lie. And we saw what Jim Jones did. He was able to use psychology on his followers, take them into Guyana, and had them to feel that he is there for the interest and he was loving them and everything else, but he was a very bad man. He killed them. So my question again is, how do you see others? Are you always afraid or suspicious of your friends and your families? Do you always think that your spouse is cheating or lying? Do you often want to set traps to see if your spouse or your children or your friends are doing bad things? How do you see others? Are you a suspicious person? He must be cheating. He's coming home late. He must be cheating. Mais c'est pas bon. Do you find yourself thinking along that line? The mind needs to be conditioned. Sometimes you need to trust your children. Sometimes you need to trust your spouse a little more and give them the benefit of the doubt. You cannot live in distrust. It's torment. And why would you torment yourself? The husband is out, you can't sleep. The man said, look, he's going to Martinique to get some supplies, but you can't sleep because you believe, but Teresa is the neighbor and Teresa is not home. So most likely Teresa might be with Johnny in Martinique, not knowing that Teresa is in the hospital in St. Lucia and Johnny is in Martinique buying what he said he was going to buy. But your mind, and the more you think like that, the more you get sick. Cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes. Sickness grows in your body when the mind is not conditioned. And sometimes many of you go to the doctor and the doctor say, we don't know what's wrong with you. And when the doctor says, we don't know what's wrong with you, you know what you do? You say, it's obia, you see? And you run to the obia man. When all the doctor is saying to you, your problem is a psychological problem. The mind is allowing you to feel that there's pain in the body. There is no pain. Your reasoning needs to be changed. Your outlook needs to be changed. And I'm not asking you folks, if you listen to me, I'm telling you, most of your problem is you. Most of my problem is me. Sometimes many of us get into bad relationships because we don't pay attention. It is us, not them. And you blame the man for fooling you. No, don't blame him. You blame you. You made that decision. You close your eyes when the guy was setting you up and lying to you. You close your eyes. You were not paying attention. You were so much in love that you knew the man was with a girl down the road and he has another one down there. Those are facts. But you close your eyes and you say, well, I can change him. No. If you went into the relationship like that and now you have no peace, it is not his problem. It is your problem. Most of the times what we go through in life, it is our problem, not the other person's problem. And I've learned to accept most of my problems because I understand that I can control most of the times my environment. I can decide who I bring into my circle or not. And my circle is a very controlled circle. So you can decide who is going to be in your circle, what type of people is going to be in your circle. And that will determine, my friends, where you go in life. It will surely determine that. So let's have real talk. We're having real talk. I'm in Brooklyn now. But let's have a real, let's talk, friends. Let's talk. Let's reason together. So condition the mind so that you can position yourself to grow, to grow, to grow, to grow. And you don't need a lot to grow. I can tell you that. You can experience peace in a plywood house, you know. You can have the best time of your life in a 1-bedroom house. There are persons in 5- and 6-bedroom house who have no peace, no joy. They can't sleep at night because they're wondering who's going to come to kill them or to steal from them. They're afraid. Some of them cannot walk without anybody next to them. They're afraid. So you can have peace with your $100 in the bank. You can have peace with your plywood house. You can have peace eating your chicken back and your bananas with some onions in it and garlic and a little tomato or tomato, what you call it in your country. But it starts in your mind. So if you stop looking at the neighbor, what the neighbor have, the neighbor house is bigger than yours, so you are being tormented. You, some of you harass your husband to kill himself to get what the neighbor has. And when sickness comes into the home as a result of that stress, then you again blame others. No, it is you. Covetousness, enviousness. Recently, I found some tapes where persons was privately discussing me, and they were talking about my platform. Yes, they were talking about my platform, and many of them were discouraging people from viewing the platform. And I found got those stuff firsthand. And you see, I conditioned my mind, so I understand that it should not bother me. So I just wanted to set that up. And I looked at it, and I looked at the persons, and I conclude that one, that person should not change your outlook. If you're standing for a cause, if you're standing for a cause and you believe in that cause, that person should not be able to sway you. Yep. Even though what they're doing, it's dangerous, and it shows that they do not want the platform to exist. They believe that either the quality is too good, or I mean, the quality is just good. And I'll confess that the quality stream on my nightly programs, it is of top quality. It's not substandard stuff. It's real quality, because it is as a result of years of work. I spent years building a platform. And all what you see I'm doing, because I put my mind to it. I never went to any school to study how to do the graphics and everything else and to get the stream a certain way. Those are things that I put my mind to, and I say to myself, I can do all things through Christ. Before Corona, I used to be called to do live streaming because most of the churches and most places did not have live streaming. Right now, everybody has live streaming. Everybody has a camera. Everybody has a little something. Everybody's doing a live somewhere. You see it. And by the way, that's going to be changing very soon with Facebook. It's going to be changing. There's a lot of going on. And that's why for my advice to those who are doing online streaming, be very cautious what you say. Be very careful the things that you share on your platform. If you look at Caribbean American News, it is a controlled site. It's very controlled with what is being shared on the platform. I don't just take something from somebody's page and share it to Caribbean American News. That is like a holy grail for me. I do not do that. I don't do it. It is more live stream and those kind of things. But on my other personal stuff, I can share quotes and then, other people's stuff that I really appreciate. I show appreciation for. But I say all this to say, friends, that, there are persons out there who will not be happy for you. And there are persons out there that they do not want you to make an error. They do not want you to err. Because many of them, a lot of persons out there who are not too strong and they're going through their challenges, they look up to you. They look up to you and they're expecting you to stand tall and to, they look at you as a perfect being. And we got to remember that. And that's why politicians need to be careful in what they say, how they say it, and when they say what they say. Because I'm looking at the whole Richard Frederick situation with Ward. And it should not have gone so far. It should not have gone so far. You know, now you have a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of things are being said, hurtful with the intention of, wounding the other party. So you're going to have that constant back and forth where Mr. Richard is going to say something to hurt Miss Ward. Miss Ward, in defense, is going to go back and because she's not going to stay quiet, she's going to go back and she's going to try to inflict that blow back on him, and he's going to in return keep going back and forth. And guess what? Between that back and forth, you have supporters coming in and joining both sides. So now you have that divide while the war is going on, and then you have secondary group of followers coming in and attacking and attacking and attacking. And that's what will continue in that process until it settles, because these things do settle at some point, and we pray that it do settle, so that we can have all soldiers focusing on nation building. And that was my original point yesterday, on the platform, where I encourage folks to remain focused, not to dismiss what is happening, because that is serious in itself. That can be a very expensive fight that you see brewing there. Can be very expensive, I can tell you that. Can be very, very, very expensive. So for me, my encouragement is for the prayer warriors to pray and ask God to intervene so that it can cool down a bit. It can cool down a bit, because it can get dirty. It can get dirty. It can get dirty. And I am hoping that we can learn out of this experience. Everything that happened in life, it's for our learning. It's for our learning. And I guess it aids in helping to change and to mold our society into something better. But I, for one, would not go back and forth with a woman, cursing her out or mépris her, if that's a word, putting the mépris in her and everything. I wouldn't even do that. And I saw something last night that was concerning to me. Now, I want persons who are listening to me to be very careful when you're listening to me. You got to listen deep. You got to listen, pay attention. You cannot even wink, or you're going to miss my point. And I'm saying that to say that some of us can be very destructive when we pass on information. We do not wait to listen to a full discussion, and we go and we create more drama, more excitement. We create more of a problem, because our intention is not really to, try to listen and reason. It is more for roro, to go and say this one say, that one say, and then, that's what we like. We major in that. We love that. Fine. But let's be real here. We have nation building to do. That's our assignment on this side of life right now, to build foundations for the future generation. That's it. Some people will not last for the rest of the year. Some people can die next month. They can die tomorrow. They can die tonight. And yet they have not fulfilled what they are placed in this time to do. So that's why I said earlier that we got to be cautious how we fuel fires. And it's a learning experience. All of us learn. I learned from my personal experience that I had with the whole donation thing, there in St. Lucia. What I learned from that is that you do not allow things to go for so long without dealing with it immediately. And two, what I learned from that is you do not allow persons to say to you, don't speak on your conviction, or don't speak in defense of your name. Not all the time you do it, but I learned when it comes to certain character assassination, you got to step out quickly and make the corrections right away. In my case, I sat back and I allowed it to go and to go and to go and to go. 2 years passed. I just allowed it to go, just being naive and saying, "Oh, it will be okay. Maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year. Yeah, don't push it. Don't push it. The person don't have it now. Blah 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 blah. Those kind of things." And so when it gets to a place where you get angry, and you get out of yourself and you snap, then people will say, "Oh, look at him, look at the messed up, he's dirty." And so we got to be mindful how we judge situations too, that we are not adding fuel, one, and two, we are not spreading propaganda. We got to be mindful of that, because I'll tell you, there's something in life that is called what you put out is what you get, what you sow is what you reap. And silence sometimes don't mean that persons are afraid to speak, or persons sometimes the Bible says you got to hold your peace, and he says, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay." And I glory in that at this point, where God will always be God. And if you are true, if what you are doing, what you're saying is on the side of truth, sometimes you got to just leave it and let the Lord deal. He deals with it much better. Sometimes we create more of a problem. And I've seen that in my situation. Sometimes we, in an attempt to make the corrections, we create more of a problem. We either break relationships in the process. We sacrifice a lot of things in order to defend our names. Sometimes we just got to let go and allow God to manifest in the situation. And believe it or not, he always manifests himself, because sometimes you lose more than you have taken. You lose more than you have thing. So we got to sometimes trust in God and allow him to manifest his glory in our situation. Those who are Christians, the Christians I'm talking to the Christians, we got to allow him to manifest his glory. He's a God of vengeance. He says, "That is mine, I will repay." On the other hand, for persons who are not Christians, they're not grounded in truth, they're not religious, they have a responsibility, yes, to stand up. And I always say that bullying is not accepted, should not be permitted in our society from any level of persons. From the police, politicians, your best friend, even your dog should not bully you. But what I see in the society is men lacking respect for women. Men lacking respect for women. Now, I'm going to close just now because we have Timothy to take care of. But that's what I see. Men lacking respect for women. I got to move the system because it is overheating. So I got to put it, the software that I'm using, it gets very hot. So just bear with me. Outside is cold, thank God, so I could I can cool it down. I can cool it down. Amen. Yes, friends. So that's the truth what I say to you. For persons who are not Christians and stuff, that you got to sometimes stand up immediately and debunk. But back to the women thing. I don't think men, especially in St. Lucia, has a lot of respect for women. And we can see that based on how they use some of these women. They want to have 3, 4 women at the same time. And even though they have 3 and 4, they're still whispering to another one, a 5th one, a 6th one. That in itself, friends, it is a lack of respect for women. Lack of respect. Total lack of respect. And I don't understand how a man can stand up and curse off a woman, try to belittle her. I don't know. I don't know how much a woman can cause you as a man, as the protector of the woman, to get to the place where you will drag her into the dust, into the dirt, to vindicate yourself. It shows that she is the stronger vessel and you are the weaker vessel. Huh? Of course, that is the truth, because the Bible says that the men are the protector of the women. The women are the weaker vessels and they are to be protected by the men. But because throughout the years we have disrespected women sexually, some of us forced, not us, I've never forced myself on any woman. I'm very controlled. I was very controlled as a young teenager growing up. I wasn't sleeping around with Tom, Dick, Harry, not Harry because Harry is a man. I wasn't sleeping around with all these women that I see some of these men and even some of those so-called Christian men sleeping around with. And it starts there with the disrespect. And that's why we have a lot of women in our society who are raped, abused, physically abused by men. The women says no, the man decides that they're going to rape her. So she has no right to say no to a man. And 2, if the man sleeps with that woman maybe 10 years ago and they fall out 15 years later, the man will come out to say how bad she is in bed and she's a whore, she nasty, she don't bathe, she don't clean, she can't cook, and he tries his best after the relationship has gone bad to demean her and to tell all his friends that he slept with her and how bad of a sex machine she was. And that in itself, friends, is something that we run away from as men. We don't want to speak about it. And this is what we have. When I hear men cussing women off and stuff, I feel bad about it. If me and my wife have a problem and I tell her, you see you, your nose big. I mean, that is being her in the house. Yeah, I say that in public. Well, you have little issues in your relationship, but you fix it. You go sleep in the other room and you finish. You're back together talking again and everything. There's no perfect relationship, folks. But at least we can learn to respect women. That situation between Richard and Minerva, I think it needs to stop. It honestly needs to stop. There is no need for it. Richard needs to understand that he is a politician. He's a public figure. He's also a man. And he got to teach the other young men how to relate to women and how to deal with conflict resolution. A lot of people don't want that. You like the maple, you like the Roro. The longer Minerva and Richard can go is the more happy some of you feel. But it's not in the best interest of anybody. And that's the truth. Listen to me carefully, folks. I cannot say anything else. I cannot say what you want me to say. It is the truth. And I got to be able to sleep tonight. Nobody wins when you have a man and a woman cussing off each other. When you especially have a politician. Miss Ward is not a politician. She's a female. But when you have a politician, like I said to you, I do not know Mr. Richard. I do not know him. And I'm not going to judge him on his past, and I'm not going to judge Minerva on her past. I'm not going to be the judge in this situation. But what I can say to you, friends, that there need to be a timeout. And if there are legal stuff that are detrimental to the country on Mr. Richard's side, the government need to deal with it. The government of St. Lucia need to pull him in, confirm what is being said, debunk it because it's out there in the public domain now. They got to deal with that in-house and let us, the citizens, know that whatever is being said is not the truth, or it is the truth, and this is how we're going to go forward in dealing, in curing this problem. But us as a people, and I spoke this morning about the conditioning of the mind. I do not want to see Mr. Richard and Minerva fighting. As I said to you, it's going to be a very expensive fight. It's going to be an expensive fight. Mark my words. Because the problem now is that now you have Mr. Richard, who is more angry. Because remember, he was angry with the UWP because of the position thing that was going on and everything else. And so he's angry. And now Minerva came out and she said a lot of stuff. We're waiting for confirmation from the government and from Mr. Frederick and other people. And like Richard said, it's going to be dealt with in the court where they will be able to produce evidence on whatever is right and whatever is wrong. So we as citizens now need to just hope for that time where, we can see the facts, we can see the truth. You understand? So until then, my responsibility as a preacher man is to be mindful, because we are human beings and the possibility is that I can fall tomorrow. Possibility is there that I can slip, I can err. To err is human. So therefore, I am not rejoicing in this situation. I am hoping for a quick end to the situation. And now, based on the things that are put out there in the public domain, now it must be rectified. You must have clarity. There must be clarity now. Is there truth to what is being said? And if there is truth, then somebody need to answer to these things that were put out in our society. Because for far too long, what we do is that we cover things, we throw things under the rug, and then 10 years down the line, we throw out a piece there, we throw out a piece there, we throw out a piece there. And because sometimes it is placed under the rug, it goes unpunished. It goes unpunished. And that's not what we want in our society. Let us learn to deal. Let us learn to deal with situations like these quickly, swiftly, and urgently. So that's what I have to say about that. I am not going to jump in. Nobody should expect me and anybody else to jump into this situation. All I would say too is that with the United Workers' Party, we have a few seconds to go. The United Workers' Party, we need to keep our heads up, and we need to stand when we must. with our frontline soldiers who are true to the cause, who are standing on the side, on the platform of what is right. We got to stand with those who have labored and are laboring among us. And that is one of our weakness, and I've observed it over and over again, is that the emphasis and the attention is not being given to frontline staff, not staff, but frontline soldiers on the battlefield. And I will say to us, if we are not careful and we repeat those same mistakes that we made in the past now, it's going to be a very sad cycle for us to repeat. Because I'm saying to you, let us deal with situations as they come. Let us deal with them professionally, urgently, with kid gloves, with prayer, with love, with understanding. Let's deal with them so that we can maintain those frontline soldiers. Don't leave them out there. Do not leave them out there. And I'm telling you, don't do it. And I know what I'm saying. I know what I am saying. Don't underestimate the power of social media. Do not underestimate the power of some of us who are on the platforms. You have been taking those frontline workers, those frontline soldiers for granted for too long. Don't do that. Every person counts in this challenge. And we must encourage all to stand together and to hold fast that commitment, that belief. If you believe in something, if you believe that the United Workers' Party is the party that carries your vision, is the party that can take this country into a bigger and brighter tomorrow. If you believe that, my friends, hold on to that belief and stand for that belief though the heavens fall. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right. Don't be distracted, friends. Hold to that belief and press towards it with vigor and determination. And that's why I speak about the mindset. With that mindset, you are on the winning side. But have no doubt on which side you are standing. Don't be double-minded in your walk. Be strong, be firm, be committed, and there to have a purpose, and there to stand on that purpose and to make it known. And my friends, if all the minds of the United Workers' Party supporters and politicians would be transformed and focused on these points, success will be your portion. This is no time to ostracize and to belittle or to throw any of your soldiers on the side. It is time to have that purpose and to stand together. There is no army in the world when united can be defeated. When united in one purpose, and that is to overthrow the other army in battle. You can't go wrong. No, when a people come together And the people are focused on the prize, share the same dream, the same hope, the strength for today and bright hopes for tomorrow, then you are on the right path. But if you are scattered and divided and you are deciding among yourselves who is better than me and who is more committed than me and who is the champion of the champions and the Dundogans, then your focus is on the wrong thing. Your focus should be on winning. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Blessings to you, Sarah. Long time. Your focus, sweet tooth, your focus should be on winning, not on what I'm seeing, on winning. And like Dr. Fletcher would say, that this is one of the many hurdles that you will overcome. The convention, that's one phase, but there are many more to come. There are many more battles that must be fought, many more battles that must be won. And one of those battles are the battles for supremacy among ourselves. The battle to be the king and queen of the castle. That is one of the greatest battles that must be defeated. It must be fought, and it must be won in order for this United Workers' Party to govern the country of St. Lucia in peace and tranquility. So I say to you, understand the war, understand the battle, and never neglect prayer, because there will be constant confusion if you lean to your own understanding. Constant confusion if we do not win those internal battles against self. The worst fight, the worst war that you can, the worst battle to fight is the battle against self, internal. Oh, my friends, there's a lot of, oh, no, we don't have a problem there. We are determined, we are united. No, we are not. No, unity is strength. But I say to you, oh, there'll be joy when the work is done. Be joy when the work is done. And even when you get to victory, the work is going to be hard. It is going to take more than 5 years to get this country back quickly, because time is running out. If you understand farming, you got to keep with the moon, the seasons. You got to keep with the seasons, or you're going to lose out on time and your harvest will be messed up. We have a generation to prepare for. We have our medical institutions, the police force, our roads, our airports, our infrastructure. The foundation need to be set for the future generation, and we are forming the fool. We are playing around with those developments. We are not planting in this season. We are losing out on time. Many of us are getting older. All of us are getting older. Our lights are getting dim. There's a new generation just before us. And we are still handing to them broken infrastructure. We are still handing to them make-weak, gossip, fighting. That's what we're handing to our generation. And that's why I say it again, we got to remain focused on nation building. There is a generation to save. There is foundations to be laid. There are seeds that need to be planted. But we cannot plant them because we act like we cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. We measure in a lot of negatives. And I'm calling on all young people to get involved in nation building. You too have a part to play in building a future for yourself. You have a role to play. Don't go on the sidelines. Get involved. Our young people are turned off. I am telling you, I've spoken to a lot of them. They're on the sideline. They don't care. They don't care for all this mapui and what this is. They don't care about it, friends. I'm telling you, these young people don't care about that. And how do we get them to care? How do we get them to care? You got to sit with them and find out where they are. We as adults need to stop and draw a line in the sand. And we should not cross that line. Some of us are too selfish and self-centered. Think about the generation and you will do better. Think about our young generation, you would do better. Unity is strength. Let's go over to our chat room so that we can see what's going on over there. So for just for a few minutes, we got to go quickly. Hurtley Pascal, unity is strength, but I feel a call for division on your path. I am not even sure what this person is talking about. They feel a call for division on my part. I'm not even sure. You see, that's what I'm saying. People are not reasoning for themselves. If this person was really reasoning, this statement would not have been there, because I have called for timeout. I have called for us to settle down, settle in. And I am not even sure how they feel this call for division on my part. You see, and folks, this is what I'm saying. We got to be transformed in our minds and our thoughts. We really got to, because if this person listened to my presentation today, they would not have made such a statement. So that person is very that's a one-track mind, and nothing that we say or I say is going to change that person. And psychologically, that's just what it is. And therefore, I am not going to spend any more time dealing with that matter. Carol Marshall is asking, what are you really saying? I said what I said. Okay, Maggie, listening from work. Thank you. Sarah, blessed Thursday. Thank you, my friend. Okay, Pascal is asking, Oliver, what is the battle? Is it against SLP or for the people of St. Lucia? I'm going to ask you, Pascal, what is the battle? Is it against the UWP or the people of St. Lucia? Think about that question. Remove SLP and put UWP there. And I suspect that you're a SLP. That's why you're asking such a question. But the battle is for a better St. Lucia, us laying a better foundation for the people of St. Lucia. The United Workers' Party and the SLP will benefit if we would just think on that path. Thank you, Pascal. Okay, Dr. Fletcher, how many years are people waiting an answer? Understood it will not happen. Okay. He will never stop. That has always been going on in our politics. Things don't get better, they will get worse. That's the word. To expect different is naive. And I am naive for true. People just have to ensure that those behaviors that they think are wrong, that they don't commit them as well. And that is true. We got to look at those behaviors and try to avoid some of them. Okay, Pascal, it's a waste of time. I'm not sure what they were referring to. Just remember, the devil is roaming to and fro, and all he can find who are weak, he will use that reality. Expect to be aware of it, be prepared for it, and deal with it with God's help. Yes, oh man, know yourself. Yes. Lincoln Pascal, my friend, greetings to you. Yes. Dr. Fletcher, we will never get anywhere to love you or stop talking about you. To expect that is that is usual. You just have to be concerned about how you behave because your behavior can help and change people. And God is watching. His opinion is what matters. Well, sometimes we say God' opinion is only what matters, but persons can hinder person's development, their personal growth. The Bible speaks of stumbling blocks, and we are to be mindful of our behaviors in the society, and we are to encourage others. Even as each of us are weak and feeble human beings, we should be able to discourage bad behaviors and to encourage that in which is good in our society. And I believe if we look at Martin Luther and all these great leaders, most of them, yes, they encourage civil disobedience and standing up, against systems. But there's always a decent way for us to get around, for us to do those things. But what we can never do is to encourage bad behavior in our society, whether it's on our side or the other side. We got to be able to discourage that which is negative. Doris Joseph, my friend, it says a lot about the person character to go back and forth, especially when you hold positions in society. And that is true. And that's why we call in on Mr. Frederick to put a pause on what is happening there. Hmm. Okay, Henry is saying, hi, cuz. Samuel, how are you? Yes. Amen. And Molly says, he will bless you in the presence of your enemies. And that is so true. A table will he spread before you in the presence of your enemies. And also it says, he will anoint your head with oil that your cup will run over. Amen. The battle is for the people of St. Lucia. Lincoln Pascal, the battle is for the people of St. Lucia. This is the worst administration of a crime. It's totally out of control. Our records are a mess. Our health care system is a disaster. We pay the most for gas in the OECS. Clearly, this government has not put the people first, and that is Lincoln Pascal. And we got to respect each other's opinion. And for me, I feel the same way when it comes to health care, when it comes to gas prices. I believe that gas prices should be lowered. All right. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. So, folks, I got to go. Timothy is on now. So, blessings to you, and remain faithful, friends. Be committed to the task, and let's get the work done. Let's get to work, folks. Blessings to all. I hope that you enjoyed the discussion. It is a new feature. Once I'm on the go, we're going to go live with On The Go. And if there's breaking news, then we break it also. But stay faithful, stay true, and God is going to bless us abundantly as we remain focused on what is right. All right? Blessings, folks. Blessings to you, folks.